Hi, this is Shupriyo. So yesterday was the 1 year anniversary of the Pulwama attack, and I think every Indian still remembers it, and we still remember about all the jawans who were massacred. And अभी भी अगर सोचते हैं तो बहुत ही ख़राब लगता है, अभी भी बहुत दुख होता है और गुस्सा भी होते हैं हम कि ये सब चीज़ हुए और अभी भी चल रहे हैं और कभी बंद भी नहीं होंगे शायद, और हमें पता भी नहीं है कि इसका सोल्यूशन क्या निकलेगा. तो दीज वर द थिंग्स दैट आई वाज थिंकिंग लास्ट डे, एंड वाइल थिंकिंग ऑल ऑफ दोज थिंग्स आई रिमेंबर्ड अ स्टोरी जो मेरे साथ एक इंसिडेंट हुई थी इन अ ब्रांच, एंड दिस वाज अबाउट अ ईयर अगो. सो आई वॉज इन अ वेरी रूरल प्लेस एट दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम. एक बहुत ही रूरल ब्रांच में था. तो दिस वॉज अराउंड द स्टार्ट ऑफ 2019 व्हेन दिस हैड हैपेंड. एंड तो क्या हुआ था कि एक दिन शाम को मैं ब्रांच में बैठा था. तो इट वॉज अराउंड 5:30 PM और सो. And people who are working in the branch or who have actually worked as bankers, you will be knowing कि क्या होता है कि when the cash is closed and the branch is actually closed, उसके बाद हमारा बहुत सारा काम स्टार्ट होता है. तो आफ्टर द ब्रांच इज़ एक्चुअली क्लोज्ड फॉर द कस्टमर्स, देन वी गो हेड एंड स्टार्ट विथ आवर वर्क बिकॉज देर इज़ अ लॉट ऑफ पेंडिंग वर्क दैट वी हैव टू फिनिश. एंड तो मैं वही काम कर रहा था, बट उस दिन मैं अकाउंटेंट सीट पे बैठा था बिकॉज आई वॉज हैंडलिंग द अकाउंटेंट ड्यूटीज़ एज वेल. तो वो सीट काफ़ी ओपन रहता है एंड आई कुड सी द गेट, द फ्रंट गेट फ्रॉम दैट साइड, फ्रॉम दैट सीट. एंड तब मैंने देखा कि एक एजेड जेंटलमैन ही वॉक्ड इन. So he was a middle-aged person and he walked into the branch. So usually there is a guard at the gate and he will not allow any customer to walk in after the closing of the bank. But at that point of time guards the nahi and he walked in. So the first person he noticed was me and he walked towards me. So अभी in this kind of a situation you cannot do anything, and I was a little bit annoyed of course because when any customer comes to us after the branch is closed, it really is a very difficult thing to handle those customers. But anyhow he came and he had a bit of problem in his legs, तो थोड़ा ठीक से चल नहीं पा रहे थे. तो मैं सोचा कि अरे suddenly if I go ahead and tell him to get out then it would be a very bad thing. So he came and he sat down and मेरे सामने ही बैठे वो. तो ही स्टार्टेड टू टॉक एंड ही वांटेड सम इन्फॉर्मेशन रिगार्डिंग हिज पासबुक, एंड उनका लोन भी था तो उसके बारे में भी मैंने इन्फॉर्मेशन दी उनको. एंड उसके बाद वी स्टार्टेड टू टॉक एंड बातों बातों में मैंने पूछा कि सर यू हैव सम प्रॉब्लम विथ योर लेग, तो क्या हुआ था. एंड दैट टाइम ही ओपनड अप and he told me that I am a battle wounded ex-army veteran. So battle wounded, what is the battle wounded thing is कि अगर आपको एक्टिव सर्विस में कोई जंग में या कहीं पे कोई चोट लगी हो and you are unable to carry on with your normal duties in life, then you get some kind of compensation. तो he used to get some kind of compensation. तो that was the thing. and मैंने फिर पूछा कि sir did you get these kinds of injuries in some war, and that time he actually opened up and he told me about all of the stories. So उन्होंने अपना पैर भी दिखाया तो I saw that it was actually quite deformed because he had received a bullet wound. So how had this happened to him actually? I was very interested to know his story because even though it was quite late and I had a lot of work to do, but these kinds of situations, they don't happen every day. And then he told me that I used to serve in Kargil. So and that time I was really intrigued कि what was the thing that he was doing, and he was an ex-army veteran, so it was something that I needed to know at that point of time. And फिर मैंने पूछा and बहुत सारे बातें किए हमने, and he told about his story. So I'll just tell that story to you. So basically when the soldiers they serve in Kargil, so they are sent in very dangerous missions. So he told me about one of those missions that actually ended up in him getting hurt and he barely escaped with his life actually. So what had happened was that the terrorists they had entered into India. So usually what happens, LOC क्रॉस करके ये terrorists अंदर आ जाते हैं, इंडिया के अंदर आ जाते हैं. और what they do is basically they go into one of those border villages. तो border के जो गांव है उनके अंदर वो लोग चले जाते हैं और जाके ना लोगों के साथ वो मिलजुल के they go inside somebody's house. तो usually क्या होता है कि people are innocent, they will not be knowing and they are very caring also. So they are very उन लोगों को अंदर आने के लिए वो allow करते हैं. And after they come into a family, that time they show their guns and they threaten these people, so and they get everything that they want. So these terrorists they had actually infiltrated a village. So what they do when they infiltrate, they go inside one of the civilians houses. तो अगर civilian के अंदर जाएंगे तो क्या होगा ना, civilian के घर में army नहीं घुसेगी. तो that is the cover that these terrorists they actually use. So वो एक civilian के घर में there were around 5 to 6 terrorists who had come inside his house, and they used to harass his family and बहुत ही बदतमीजी करते थे उनके लड़कियों के साथ and all of those horrible things. But सडनली एक दिन क्या हुआ था ना कि आर्मी को खबर लग गई कि ऐसे टाइप के एक सिचुएशन हुआ है दैट दीज टेररिस्ट हैव कम इनटू दैट विलेज एंड इनटू दैट हाउस. सो समटाइम्स दीज टेररिस्ट व्हाट दे विल डू, दे विल से दैट ओके यू प्रिपेयर सम काइंड ऑफ अ डिलीशियस मील फॉर मी, आज चिकन बनाओ, ऐसे करके बोलते हैं. तो दैट द मैन ऑफ द हाउस ही विल गो आउटसाइड, ही विल बाई ऑल द स्टफ्स सो दैट दे कैन कुक एंड दे कैन फीड दीज टेररिस्ट. सो इन दैट पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम ही वेंट अहेड टू द आर्मी कैंप एंड आर्मी को बोला कि ऐसे टाइप का सिचुएशन हुआ है, प्लीज हेल्प अस. सो इन दीज kinds of situations Indian army they help the innocent people. So कैसे क्या करते हैं वो, they evacuate the entire village, the surrounding areas of that house, and रात को they make an operation. So they go inside the house, they capture the terrorists and civilians को भी they rescue, and they try to have zero civilian casualties because the army is going to protect us. So वैसे एक situation हुआ था और इसी एक operation में the person who was sitting in front of me, he had been involved in one of those army rescue operations. So he told me that in that operation they had just evacuated all the people out of that village and only that house it was left basically. So this was all done by the army very cautiously. So after that क्या हुआ कि रात को they made that operation. So there were around I think 10 or 15 army men. So they went in and they infiltrated that house. So this was a very dangerous rescue operation, and in that operation what happens is that all of the army soldiers they surround the building that is to be in which the terrorists are actually living, and they just infiltrated from the top, from the roof, and also through the doors. So all the doors and the top they infiltrate. So उसी दौरान क्या हुआ कि the things got a little bit heated and there was a firefight, but thanks to the efforts of the Indian army, none of the civilians got hurt, and I think 5 or 6 terrorists who were inside, the terrorists were all killed, but some of the soldiers actually got hurt in that firefight. So this person who was sitting in front of me, he was the person who actually got hurt over there, and he told me that he had actually gone ahead, and what was happening was that inside one of the little girls of this man who was the man of the house, so one of those girls, she was being used as a human shield by the terrorist guy, and this man who was sitting in front of me, he was the one who went ahead and rescued this girl, and in the process of that rescue he got a bullet wound to the leg. Thankfully all of the terrorists were wiped out and none of the Indian army soldiers were killed, thankfully, but at least 2 or 3 of them actually got hurt. So he was one of the people who was badly hurt, and उनको मतलब बहुत खून भी निकल रही थी उस टाइम पे when he got actually shot, and he was brought back to the army camp and somehow he managed to recover because it was a very dangerous situation also. मतलब उनकी मौत भी हो सकती थी, but he was brave enough and he recovered. But after that he was told by the army that you cannot go ahead and serve anymore because obviously you are wounded, and that is the time that he came back home. And तो ये सब बारे में बातें कर रहे थे, तो I was just thinking that about his services, about the sacrifices that this man had done. और आपको जान के ये हैरानी होगी कि when he came back to his native, now he did not have to do anything. He was getting pension, he was getting that compensation because he was battle wounded, but he started a school. So basically he had started a school for the underprivileged kids who were in his locality, and he told me that this school was doing well. So it had been around 2 or 3 years that the school was running, and he told me that he was impacting the lives of so many people. So I was stunned at that point of time. I was thinking that okay, in this position where I am sitting, I feel that my life is so hard that I am posted in a state which is so far away from my main home, and I am doing so many sacrifices. But we forget in this point of time that the Indian army, the people who are serving us, who are protecting us, who are guarding our borders, they are making so huge sacrifices. So I was just thinking about this incident last day, that there are so many of these brave men out there, brave women out there who are saving us, and even when they get battle wounded, they come back home, they do something for the society. तो इनके लिए क्या होता है ना कि देश प्रेम सबसे बड़ा है, and they don't go ahead and saying that जय हिंद करके मतलब ऐसे उछलते नहीं है वो. What they do it silently. This man, he came back, he started a school, and he was impacting the lives of so many underprivileged kids. And I was also thinking about this entire situation कि जो बंदा अपने लाइफ को लाइन पे लगाता है हमारे लिए, और ही कम्स बैक एंड ही अगेन हेल्प्स अस. सो कैन यू इमेजिन, दिस इज द सर्विस दैट द इंडियन आर्मी पीपल आर डूइंग, एंड दिस इज द मैसेज दैट आई वांटेड टू गिव यू थ्रू दिस स्टोरी दैट आई टोल्ड यू जस्ट नाउ, दैट these are the people who are helping us and because of them we feel safe. So आजकल सोशल मीडिया एक मीम आ गया ना कि सियाचिन में हमारे जवान लड़ रहे हैं, ऐसे करके मीम एक आ गई है, बट दोज आर द थिंग्स विच आर मीमीफाइड actually, but there is a reality to that situation. The soldiers really, they are protecting us, and this is not something about politics. You don't have to think about politics, but you should keep these people in your mind. So yesterday was Valentine's Day and I saw my feed was filled with Valentine's Day posts from girlfriends and boyfriends and everybody, but there were very few posts for the Pulwama attack and for the service which our brave military personnel are doing for us. So from this video I just want you to do one thing, that think about these people. If you can donate something to their families, to the martyrs, then please do, and please keep these people in your thoughts, because they are the people for whom we are able to live a better life. And बस इतनी ही बात थी आज आपसे बात करने के लिए. तो thank you for watching this video and I hope that you learned something today, that it was beneficial to you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.